What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the vlog. We're on a new project here. We've got a really cool design that we're building, and in this video we're going to show you start to finish of how we frame this thing and stay efficient while we do it. So make sure you hit subscribe. Stay tuned. Nah, just do like a straight line of one.
What I like about making those is you're making all this is like we cut 8 2 by.
Just follow in around for a while.
Go up a little bit. Oh.
I have nothing on it right now, so
Oh,
I'm not moving up or down.
oh, okay.
Right?
Up is the Yeah. Is there more? Yeah, hopefully. Maybe dig around, look.
Alright.
Chill.
Now that we've got our ledger board up, we've got a dictated height that we can work off of. So we've got the ledger board up, secured with our lag screws into the existing rim board, and we've marked it out. Now that we have our height, we can figure out where our beams are gonna go. So what Ant and Nick, we haven't introduced him yet, but we will.
Say hi, I'm Nick.
Hi, I'm the new guy.
They're just getting our helical piles all at the same elevation so that we can cut our 6x at the same size. So what are we doing? Just picking a height here and we're going off of that?
Yeah, so I picked the pile, the highest pile, right? And then lowered the saddle as I could, right?
Yep.
It's the highest pile?
I don't know, you did it.
Yeah, but I'm trying, I can't.
Yeah, it's the highest.
I took the highest pile, lowered that saddle, set that to our laser, and then the rest of the piles are all gonna get dictated to that saddle, so then they're all running level.
So you can go up with it.
You can go up
Gotcha,
with it.
gotcha. So this is one of the amazing things about the helical piles from Goliathtech is they have the adjustable saddle. I'm not gonna spin it too much because you already set this one?
Yeah.
So that'll bring it up. That'll bring it down. Should have went back to the same spot, I think. And makes it super easy. So for efficiency's sake, helical piles are one of the #1 things that we like to use because they can get installed. We know that they are installed to the torque we need for the load that's gonna bear on top of it. And we can frame right away, and they have this adjustable head, so it just makes everything so much easier. All right, next up, figuring out our beam height and cutting 6x.
Good.
I need Nick to be a yes man for me around here. So we got an even playing field. Steve's a yes man, Nick's a yes man,
Yeah.
You and Catherine, not, and Jose's wild card.
Nick,
Yes.
I'm gonna hold this where it needs to go. can't see it. Hook the bottom of the stick to the bottom of the ledger. Right. Give me a good measurement. Can it be a little, nah, I don't like. Here, can you hold this?
Yeah.
Slap that, like, hold so it's nice and stiff. I'm gonna check this corner. Do the same thing.
We're good, 40 1/4?
40 1/4 and 40 1/8.
Okay.
Only 1/8 inch, well, that's good.
That's pretty good. So, you saw how they shot this with the laser, measured from the bottom of the stick up to the bottom of the ledger. That's going to give us our elevation of this set of piles, and now we just need to subtract the height of the beam.
The tall, yeah.
The
Which
tall,
is a 9 1/2.
Which is a 9 1/2.
So that
So
minus
that 40 1/4 minus 9 1/2. Whew, that's tough. Yeah, go do long division on that. What the hell are you doing? I'm so confused. What?
What?
I don't know. What?
Least common denominator.
I don't know. Is that right? Yeah. Is it? What did you do?
Subtracted.
Oh, I don't know what the hell that was.
So
I mean,
you can't take 0, like I can't take 9 away from 0, right?
Okay.
So then you go over here, you cross it out, and you take 1 from here, so that becomes a 3, and then that extra
Okay.
one I just took, you put it next to that number, which is a 0, so that becomes a 10. So 10 minus 9 is 1, and 3 minus nothing is 3.
Huh. And 1/4 minus half is 3/4. But
Well,
that's
yeah.
where I feel like you might.
Why?
I don't know. Cause,
I'm taking I got a quarter,
all right, let me see.
and I got to take a half out. So if I take 1/4 out, that puts me.
30 3/4. Yeah, you did it.
Fractions are important, kids.
All right,
I've never
so
seen it done like that. That's amazing.
do you feel confident cutting some 6x?
Sure.
I'll cut them. Come on, Nick.
I'm dragging it.
We have about 60 of them to carry.
I'm gonna drag 60 of them.
Love that saw, baby. Beam cutter. Whoa!
It's like a chainsaw. Tony Chainsaw Massacre. I could probably like make a bear out of this, or like a dolphin.
You can do anything you set your mind to, Tony. All right. What we like to do with this is get our 2 ends set. We'll set these underneath the beam. We'll make sure that we're just where we need to be. This is sitting level. It's right at the elevation that we need from the ledger. And then we can measure down from the beam to the other 2 saddles in the middle and make sure that, you know, if it's 1/8 of an inch off, whatever, we can cut them exact, slide them right in, be good to go.
Here, why not?
Okay.
I 45'd them.
You did?
I didn't.
No, you don't need to.
You want an extra hand over there?
No, we're good.
All right.
Pretty good? Yep. Keep doing your thing.
I want to make sure I'm doing 6.
It's not like, it's just there to help hold the beam up. But if we have to rotate it, then we're screwed.
Nailed.
Yeah, if I nail it.
Then we're nailed, yeah. A little bit, a little bit. A little more. It's the great thing about these Goliathtech helical piles. Gotta love it. Just give it one more spin. It's real close.
That's it. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
And we're Gucci.
No camera for me, man.
That should might.
Huh?
How's that?
Looks pretty good.
Okay.
Well, let me, I'll tag this up. Throw a couple screws in it. You didn't want 10 in there? Well, this one's good now. We don't need to move it. So, we're just tagging this up with some framing nails. We will put some structural screws in here. This is how our architect specs these connections to be made. A lot of people use those little, you know, those little metal brackets. This is way, way sturdier. I like this. Helps with your lateral stability way more. Keeps this beam really locked in for justice.
I'm assuming it would need to go up.
Probably. Tiny bit.
Push up the 2x10 up.
This will be funny. Got these new clamps. Aunt's gonna yell at me if I use them because it's not necessary. It'll be funny. I'll be like, what are you doing? I'm getting my hammer.
No, you're not. That's
Yes, I am.
That's a clamp.
No, it's not.
Maybe you can just hit it with your hammer.
Well, I'm kind of in an awkward position here.
It's not wide enough.
It is.
You're not, nope.
So, yeah, what do you think of that?
That's good, dude. I'm so glad you showed me that.
I thought you were gonna yell more than that. Like, go on, get out of here, stupid.
Get out of here, kid. Hold my flashlight. You're really,
You want to close your window? White truck.
yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So at this portion of the project, you really just want to take your time, make sure that your foundation is nice and level so you're not going to have any issues later on. We've got our beam set up. You see how we just do the 2 end posts first, then the beams will be nice and flat. We can measure down, get an exact measurement on our 6x's in between, and we'll put our 2 end joists on so that we can make sure we're level all the way out this way. And once we have both sides set, we'll be good to go. We can backfill in here with the rest of our posts and really lock this thing in for justice. Start running joists. Spam. God.
Don,
Yeah.
if you were driving your car, your truck,
Yeah.
and you happen to get a flat tire,
Yeah.
what vegetable would you like to have on, like, with you at that moment?
I'd say spare, I guess. Did you ever wonder how Santa keeps track of which chimneys he goes down?
Skid marks?
He keeps a log. Helical piles in action right there.
Get the level.
Oh, okay. Good thing I just got this big Johnson. It could go down. Does it look like it could go down a tiny bit? Jose's too short. Go down like another turn or so.
Okay, now I'm not even touching it, dog. I'm not touching the joist, dog.
All right, dog. Don't yell at me, dog. It's saying it can just go up a little bit.
Here.
All right, yeah, we're pretty good there.
Then let rest it.
One thing that you want to make sure of when you're framing, you pick the right lumber. There's a lot of confusion about what the treatments are out there. The common treatment now is micronized copper azole. That's what this is right here.
Real asshole.
It's messed up. Anyway, check the tag. Hey, come on. Ground contact. Come on, stop pushing it down, Ant.
It's the tag's in the shot, dude. What do you
So, make sure that all your framing members are ground contact. The only thing above ground that you would use is some accessory framing like lattice or handrail spindles, stuff like that. But all your important framing members, you want ground contact, and you'll be good to go.
ProWood. If you can't beat it, buy it. ProWood. Act up or you're grounded.
Act up or you're grounded?
No, act up and you'll be grounded.
Don't act up or you'll be grounded. For ground contact.
Yeah.
Don't act up or you'll be ground contact. 6 feet under. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I want to make jingles.
Like the tune?
Yeah.
Or the words?
Like jingles for the both.
You want to do both?
Yeah.
Okay.
You think that's two separate things?
I would think so. Like,
Really?
It's like, hey, you give me the jingles and I'll give you the words.
Oh, okay.
What do they call the words? Lyrics. You
Alright.
stop touching that.
Oh, really? Okay. So we got this up. Now we'll do the same thing. We'll level this, make sure that we're all good. We're in plane with our other beams because it's going to be a separate portion of the deck. And should be good. One more thing that you'll notice is we like to put these up either 1 or 2 at a time. We have a triple 2x10 beam, but that can be really heavy, especially on our longer runs. So we can start with just 1, we can get it nice and level, and then we can laminate it in the air.
Spin this down a little bit, Chief.
Yeah, you got it, boss. Oh my God. Yeah. If you can stop by here, somebody needs to get this guy in line. He's not listening to nobody. Yeah, he needs a Snickers. He's thicker than a Snicker, he said. Patience is key, Tony. Alright, I'm sorry, I'll shut up.
You got that?
Yep.
I got this.
Oh, you got it? Okay, oh, you got it now. Is that right?
Push it to me.
Oh, gotcha. A lot more. Cool.
No, it's perfect.
I'm looking at it from an angle. It's good? See if it's good?
Check the beam.
Alright, so now we're at the part of squaring this thing up. We have all of our beams run long in both directions. I always like to do that because it gives you a lot of wiggle room, and we always finish off the deck down to the ground, so all those cuts will be covered, and it just makes everything a whole lot easier when you're laying out the beam. So we've got this end joist up on both sides. How are we looking? Straight?
Good.
Okay, so we've got the collapsible square. You'll find this on Amazon. I love this thing. Link in description for this bad boy. How we look? Pretty good?
Yeah.
Nice and straight? We got it roughly square with our collapsible square, and now we're double checking it with the right triangle method. We measured out 15 feet and 15 feet, and then he plugged it into the construction calculator and our diagonal on that. You can just do the old Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That comes out to, what was it,
254
and 9/16?
and 9/16.
254 and 9/16. So if we're at that number, it means we're square. We good?
254 and 9/16.
Nuh-uh.
I swear to God, get the camera out here.
It's right there.
Get a good zoom in on that. 254 and 9/16.
Now that we have this verified as coming off square, we can just measure inside to inside, mimic that measurement over there, and because this is square, we know that that's going to be square as well, and we're good to go. 219 to the outside, so 217 and a half. We're like exactly where we need to be. You're right on there?
Buddy, yeah, singing, cooking dinner with a friend. The grease fried buns got blood on my cheeks.
What? What's wrong with that guy? So we measured here, 219 to the inside, so here's our mark. We can now pull this over, square it down, cut this, and we've got our perimeter. And we're good?
We're good, thanks for coming.
All right.
All right, I guess hopefully we're just gonna use this as our cut.
Yeah, that's fine. That's why. All right, now that we got our ends cut and we're all squared up, next step is going to be...
We still gotta
Why no? Well...
What, are you trying to end the video?
No, this is a transition point because I'm going to talk about what they're doing.
Oh.
So, we got this pretty much good, and what we're going to do now is we've already got Jose and Nick working on laying out our joists. Come on. One of the most important things that you want to do to ensure a nice flat deck surface, especially with a composite deck board, that's going to kind of contour to whatever your framing is. So we want to make sure that all of our framing is graded from smallest to biggest. A 2x10 is going to vary from about 9 1/4 to 9 1/2. So we want to make separate piles for those 9 1/4, 9 3/8, and 9 1/2. And we'll just pick one side to start with, and we'll go all the way up, small to big or big to small, whatever, and make sure that we don't have a 9 1/4, 9 1/2, 9 1/4. You'll have that big hump. This is going to make it really close to flat, and then we can just go around and zip off some of the tops where we have some high crowns, and we'll have a nice flat surface, as flat as we can get it.
I got a light 9 1/2. Now I got a half in the middle right here. Big pile.
Oops, sorry.
So we already plumbed up our posts side to side before we put our scab on the back. So what we want to do is, it's very important, before you nail in your joist to the beam, you want to make sure it's plumbed this way. All right, come out. Came out too much. Yeah, more.
More out.
Yep, out, 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 out. Just a little tap. A little tap. That's good. That's something you can easily forget about. You know, you're in that mode of just let's start running joists, and you tack these in, and then you realize later, uh-oh, our beam and our posts are sitting like this, and that's not good. So make sure you do that.
Thank you for just like rolling with it.
Yeah, you got it. Trust but verify, I like to say. We pulled off of our square starter joist there. So we pulled all the measurements off of that. We should be good at this corner, but we always want to check. We're pretty much perfect at this side, which is great. That means that we did a good job squaring off that first one, pulling our measurements off of that, and we're good to go. Some people like to put the rim on, they'll cut the joist to length, they'll do diagonal measurements to make sure they're square. We prefer doing it this way because we can still leave everything long and we can just cut it later. We can ensure that everything's square, and as we build, we're good. Then we can snap our lines at the front, good to go.
All right, so what we're doing now is we're running joists. So Jose's crowning them, we're grabbing them, and we're running them over to Anthony. And this keeps us efficient because it's not one person running and nailing it off while carrying it. So 2 people running, 1 person nailing, and we're good to go.
Slide it tight.
Tight?
Yeah, this is gonna be a double.
Get a leg up. Big.
Was it brutal having me do this instead of Steve?
But it was watching you, it looked brutal. I was feeling for you.
I got it up there. I can help if you need a hand, but
Yeah, it's not a hand, it's just the doubles, right? I gotta get them cinched tight.
Sounds good. I mean, if you need me, you just let me know. I'll be right over there.
Once I get these doubles together, you can't put the other ones in. So this framing detail.
Detail that's going in here. Dahid. We're still working off of what we talked about yesterday?
I kind of know what's going up top. The bottom, I don't really get, but up top, like when now we have this opening, I'll marry the openings with some like back framing, but I don't know like what's going on top.
I think those panels are 2x4, so that's...
No, you got walk on it.
I don't know what they're made out of. I thought they were strong.
No, I know the privacy screens are going on the walls. I don't know, you said like plexiglass or like a metal grate or something.
Oh, okay.
All these are here?
Start, yes, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah.
All right.
Slide it that way. Just lace the top with a 2x4, and then just run legs down.
All right, so we got all of our joists up. Sight that down the edge. See how we're looking. Looks pretty straight. It's not even nailed up yet. Good job. You got it. Now we've got our rim up. This thing is all framed. It's looking really good. We still have a small deck to frame over here. It's gonna be a step down, but that covers a lot of the steps of framing a deck from start to finish. A lot of our tips for keeping efficient. And in the next video, we're gonna detail some of our accessory framing and starting to frame up this roof. So we'll be setting posts, setting the beam. Nice, interesting application here for a low pitch roof. So make sure you hit subscribe. Stay tuned. Until next time, this has been Premier Outdoor Living. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the vlog. We're going to be finishing up a little bit of deck framing, but we're mainly going to be focusing on how to build a shed roof over our deck here. And we're going to show you how to use this simple little contraption to lift a 500-pound beam 8 feet in the air. Stay tuned. Put a washer around it. So the first step to building our roof is setting our posts on the outside. We have 2 posts going in, almost a 20-foot span, so it's gonna be really big. We've got a huge beam going in. We'll get to how we're gonna lift that in a little bit. But first thing we wanna do is set our 6x6 post bases. We have these screwed in. We're gonna have a bigger lag right in the center here, but we want our flashing tape underneath of that flat blocking before we put this here. And what we've done is transferred the load with a 6x6 underneath of this, so it's all solid from our post base, 6x6 underneath here, down to our beam, down to our footing. Good to go, locked in for justice. And we'll get these up, and then we'll show you how we're gonna lift this beam, custom contraption. It's gonna be pretty sweet. We're gonna jump to the other side of the roof for a second to talk about this detail. So our rafters are dying into our existing roof, but we don't wanna have all that load bearing on top of the house rafters. We don't know what they're calculated for, how much more load they can take. So we're actually installing skylift roof risers on the exterior wall. They're gonna go up and support our beam. That's all gonna eventually be completely concealed inside of our finished wall, so you won't see it, but it's a really important detail, and we need to figure out where they're gonna go on that top plate, because on the left side, we have another A dying into this roof. We have an existing valley. It's a lot of tricky stuff going on, so we need to figure out how this is gonna work.
I didn't know you were gonna start moving it again.
What the Jesus Christ.
What are you doing? Hit the power button and stop. It's off now. Now set it.
All right, well, I guess I was holding it too long with the glove. It was turning off and then turning back on. All right, let me see.
You can't make it like completely out of way.
I know. That looks pretty good.
All right, now turn it on.
It's hard with gloves.
Then take the gloves off.
I just put them on. Just got them. Oh yeah, got a couple pairs. It's making a weird noise.
It's setting itself.
There we go. Checking our post bases, making sure, you know, we're right there. Could be a little bit of, you know, just some discrepancy, maybe 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch between the two sides of the deck. We want to know that when we set our joists, when we set our posts, so we cut them at different heights if we need to.
Give me a... You got a shim?
Stack them.
I'd like to get it in the bubble. See, now I'm high.
Jesus Christ.
You're here?
Yeah.
When'd you get here?
2 minutes
Why do you only button the middle?
Because the bottom ones don't say buttoned. I know.
I'll go 5/16.
5/16. That's a quarter?
This? This is
Yeah.
3/16.
5/16. Go quarter. It was literally just a little bit.
No, I was standing right here. I could tell. I'm gonna go 5/16.
Alright, do that. So 80. This is the high one. So you're subtracting 5/16, or you're going 80 and 80 and 5/16.
What? No, this one's got to be longer.
That's what I said. This one's got to be longer.
That's the high one. That's the low one. All right, so we got 1 at 80, 1 at 80 and 5/16. The deck can be, you know, very, very slightly out of level. You know, the joist sizes are a tiny bit different. Post bases can have a little bit of discrepancy, so 5/16, that's pretty good. But this way, we got our beam up there. She's gonna be sitting pretty. So,
Which one was that?
regular 80.
80%?
80%, baby.
Why would you do that? Go get the screws.
All right, jeez. What? Oh! Freeze. It's such a jerk sometimes. You're a nice guy. Whew. Got our posts set. Now we're gonna brace them. All right, here's what I'm gonna need you to do. These ones, whatever, because we're gonna be in front of that. But these, I want these ones up high first, because we're gonna get the beam up, like close to them, then install one underneath the beam while it's in the air, then take that one off. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
I'm gonna use a chain hoist to get.
Where are they going?
Just put this brace up pretty high. You'll see very.
Easy.
Do as I say.
Where is that thing going?
That's gonna go on the outside. It's gonna get screwed into here. We're gonna screw this into the beam. All right, well, I can cut a piece of because these are gonna be reusable.
What?
For setting beams. Jesus. This is an awesome idea and it's gonna be pretty sick, so. For what? Duh. You're gonna see this thing working here, you're like, that's actually pretty damn smart. I'm sorry I ever doubted you, is what you're gonna say. Suddenly this guy's got a million questions for me. Usually it's just back to the van. Not today. Nice. All right.
Go as far as you can.
Yeah. Hold on. What I like to do is just, you know, get set up mentally first. How's that?
No, don't.
Where do you want to go?
Over there more. Go up higher.
How's that? Yeah? Huh? Yeah, that's okay though.
Screw into that wall I don't like. The wall can move. Screw everything to the deck.
Well, the deck's not here. The deck's up here.
The framing of the deck.
Yeah, I'm gonna screw there too. I remember my first time trying to be a leader.
Yeah, you're not dealing with people that just do what they want. Just to do what you're told.
I designed this whole freaking thing. All right. So, hey, yeah.
No idea what's going on.
Above that brace and below that brace, we just need like a scab of 2x4 to pack it out. This
Why can't we just screw it to the side?
to the side
Yeah.
because it needs to go above it, and our beam's gonna be longer than that.
Oh yeah.
I thought about all of this stuff. Don't worry about it. So we're gonna line this up at the top of the post. We just need to pack out, like I said, above and below that, and then put like 5 of these bad boys into it, secure it. Then we can cut a scab to support it down to the deck. We want to give it a little extra support.
John,
Yep.
what are you making?
Well, what I got here is a contraption that we're gonna use to lift our beam, which is about 500 pounds, up in the air and set on those 6x6 posts. A lot of times we'll use a genie lift, which you go like this and it zips the thing up. We've used those in the past, but the legs of that extend out really far. We'd hang over the edge of the deck. It wouldn't be great for this situation. So what we're gonna do, built this, 2 4x4s. We've got this L bracket here on the inside. We've got these brackets on the outside going opposite directions. And I've also got 2 8-inch lags through the top connecting the two. So it's pretty strong. And what we're gonna do is screw this into our 6x6 post. It's gonna sit above, imagine here's the post. This is gonna sit above. We're gonna attach a chain hoist here, and then we're just gonna lift it, hoist it right up in the air. It'll be super easy. I got 2 chain hoists from Harbor Freight, and they were only like 70 bucks a piece. So this is gonna be something that we can just keep, and I think it's gonna be great to lift this beam up, and many more beams in the future. Built to last, locked in.
What is the connection going to be between the post and this?
Screws.
Just
These here, bunch of these. We'll probably do like 4 of these, and then we'll also just run a scab underneath this down to the deck
I already
surface.
have the scab there.
Yeah, there you go. He's already got the scab there, so there's not gonna be a whole lot of load on it that way, because it's gonna like kind of be pushing against it. And
Did you make them the same?
yeah,
so that's going to be on the outside of the post.
yep,
And you're going to lift it from the inside. You're going to lift the beam up the inside.
yep. You gotcha.
Cool.
You gotcha.
Really creative. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
You guys help me tilt it up so I can get it on my shoulder now, and then you lift up that end.
Why don't we do that closer? Because then
I feel like we're either doing it now
Yeah.
or just putting it down on the ground. Do you want to lift it twice?
true. Okay.
Just keep lifting it up. All right, then you guys can lift up your end.
Okay, we're good.
Good?
Yeah. Yep.
You want the 2x?
All right, so we got the hoist up. Hold on a second, Jose. We got it wrapped around our beam. It's holding pretty good, right? What?
What do you want? When you gotta get off this plywood.
Yeah. A little scared. I don't know. Never done this before. Jose, you can let go of the chain. Huh? You can let go of the chain.
Wow, that's slow.
All right, so we had the temporary support all the way up as high as we could so that we can pull this up And you can see over here, just as we hit it, we can put support underneath of it. So now we're clear to go all the way up and get it on top of the 6x. That worked really freaking good. I'm pretty proud of that. This little thing here, it's proud of me too.
It took 5 hours.
Well, now we have it built and it's ready to go. All right, it's up. It's good. Next step, cut open the roof, get our beam installed at the house above the exterior wall plate, and then we can start cutting rafters. Let's go. I think just come off of that, yeah, as little as possible.
No, if anything, I would want to move it this way.
Well, it looks like then that hole's like perfectly lined up with it.
Right now, this hole is here,
Yeah.
and this hole is here. So I want to go. If anything, I want to go that way with it.
Okay, okay. Now that we got the soffit taken off, made the installation of these sky lifts super easy. So we've got the 2 installed. Now we're on to the tricky one that's in our valley. So it's gonna cut back our end rafter on this A-frame just enough to squeak that skylift in there. This is still bearing on our exterior wall, so we're fine. And then our skylift can fit right in there where we need it, and that's gonna bear down also on that exterior wall. So we'll be good, and we can throw our beams up.
Get them up.
All right, so we got our beam in the air. We have our sky lifts up ready for the beam installation, and then we can cut our rafters, but we're gonna jump into all of that, figuring out your rafters, cutting them, installing them, sheathing, all of that in the next video. So make sure you hit subscribe. Stay tuned, and until next time, this has been Premier Outdoor Living. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the vlog. We're on part 2 of building a shed roof over a deck. And in this one, we're really gonna dive into our rafter angles and our cuts. So by the end of this video, you'll have a much better understanding of how to figure out all of your angles when you're building your project. Make sure you hit subscribe, stay tuned. Lagging it in for justice.
Sure are. Sure are.
Seems sarcastic, but we are indeed. So, do you know Jay Bronzone? Are you filming?
Yeah.
Hit it. You hit it?
Hit it, yeah.
So we're getting our beams on top of our sky lifts. See, we just have to route this out a little bit. The saddles are a little bit smaller than our triple 2x12 here, but we didn't want it to be loose, so we got with the closest size and just have to route out about 1/4 inch off of each side. And then we put our waterproof boot on here, and we've got Tyvek over top, so it's waterproof for now. Again, this is all gonna be concealed inside of our ceiling, so wouldn't really be necessary. Is it like you're pushing down my head? Is it? 3, 2, 1. Did it work?
No.
3, 2, 1. Did it work?
Kinda, yeah.
All right, so even though this is gonna be completely concealed at the end and it's gonna be roofed in, waterproofed, we still wanna have this on here. We've got the Tyvek underneath our shingles, and it's waterproof for now because we've opened up the soffit. What are you doing? We're gonna get this locked in for justice, and then we can take some measurements, make sure this beam and this beam are running nice and parallel. We'll mark this out, and then we can get our measurements for our rafters. Ant's always wanted to be just like me.
You guys are wearing the same outfit, and a like gray hat, everything.
It's more of a greige.
I think the word's greige.
Greige?
Yeah.
What, how you pronounce that?
Yeah.
No, I think it's greige.
But you wouldn't say beige. It's gray and beige. It's greige.
No, it's like green beige, greige.
It's not green at all. No, I would say it's firmly gray, but
Oh yeah, it's
I'll
totally
give you
gray. All right, I'm gonna start unbanding this stuff. I'll crown them, start stacking them.
Yeah. And real quick, all you people at home, oh, he's framing with screws, he's framing with screws. I'm not framing with screws. I'm cinching these 2 plies together so I can get them nice and tight, and then I'll finish with nails. Calm down. And another thing, I'll just use a clamp. I'll just carry, who's carrying a clamp on their belt all day long? I know I'm not. I'm gonna use a couple screws, get it tight, and move on. Stop it. That's it for me. I'm done with that. Stop with the screws and the framing talk. Just watch and learn.
Just let him go, everybody. He'll tire himself out. He'll be napping pretty soon at this rate. We've got all of our 2x10s here. This is regular hem fir, not treated. This is gonna be our roof rafters, 2x10s by 20s. What we wanna do is just unband the whole pack. We wanna crown them. This one's kind of pretty straight. So, but we want to stack them up on the horses and get all the crowns facing the same direction. So crowns are going to be facing this way, and then when we lay out our rafters, we cut them all the crowns are in the same direction. It's nice and organized, and you know, we can also pick through the pile, make sure if there's any pieces that don't look as good, we can use those for our back framing or accessory framing, and be good to go. It's getting spicy. That means we're about to get a lot of work done here.
How do I know if I'm on my line?
Just keep rocking it back and forth 2 or 3 more times and you should be good.
Yeah. So that's 6 by, so another 1.5 inches is deck.
Wasn't so hard, was it?
And what are we doing? Or you can adjust this.
I'm thinking we could also just rip it down to 8 inches and then just cut them. I'll need it. We flush it up at the top.
No, because I want to, because depending on this part, I don't know what the height, I'd rather just do it how I want to do it.
Well, it'll still be in plane with
I
that.
understand
It's
it's gonna be
2x8,
plane
and
at
then
top.
our fascia will just hang down below that a little bit.
But you got to lob this end rafter flat. Can I just do it how I want to do it?
Go for it. We got pretty much all this figured out, so let's backtrack a little bit. I'll show you how we got to this point. It's a lot of back and forth. I'm gonna summarize it for you. Come along. First step, we get our laser. We have both beams up. Now we need to figure out what is the exact height difference between them. Set up your laser, and it'll go like beep, 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 beep. I made a mark right here. Then I measured from this mark up to the top of the beam, gave me 62.25. And we go over here. We put this here, we go beep, 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 beep. Right here, that's our mark. Measure from here to the top of this beam, gives us 28.5. Now we have our numbers. Let's go over to the lumber pile. We'll figure it all out and get our template cut. One more thing before you go over there, figure out your run. So we got a measurement from our beam, inside a beam, because they're gonna sit flush, to outside of this beam, and we got 240 and 13/16. Now we're ready. So what we got here, so we need to figure out 3 things for a roof measurement. We have our run, our rise, and that'll give us our pitch. So we got run, 240, 13/16. we've got our rise. Now, we take our two measurements that we had, 62 1/4 minus 28 1/2. That gives us 33 3/4. So that's our rise, right? No. We need to subtract the height above plate. So the top of our rafter down to our bird's mouth cut, that measurement, we need to subtract that because we want to find out the top of the beam, not the top of the rafter. So we just chose 8 inches for our height above plate. So we're going to subtract 8 inches from that. So that will give us 25 3/4. So now we have our run and our rise. We can put that into a construction calculator. It's going to spit out a pitch for us. And our pitch is, what was it? 1 1/16?
Put it in a construction calculator.
That's all right. I'm just going to say 6.1 degrees. 25 3/4. That'd be like 6.2. It's over a quarter.
That's our pitch.
Yeah, right. No, I know. So we've got our run, we've got our rise, we put that into a construction calculator. That's gonna spit out our pitch, and it gave us 1 5/16 over 12. So every foot, we are going to rise 1 inch and 5/16. You convert that into a decimal, and it's 6.1 degrees. It's not really a decimal, it's like a degree. Convert it to degrees in the calculator, 6.1. So now I'm gonna show you how we mark out the rafter. Need to do, throw our speed square on there, and we're gonna go right to the edge of this, and we're gonna pivot off of there just barely over 6 degrees. Now we'll mark this side of it, we'll cut. So now what we want to do, we hook the top of our ridge cut all the way down. Whoa. Should have gave myself a little more space here. 20 13/16. So here's one of our issues. We're right at the end of our board. This is a 20-foot board. It was gonna take a lot longer to get 24s in, so we just went with this, but we're fine. What we're gonna do, get a scrap piece, make sure that it's nice and square, and what I'm gonna do is basically extend this past just over 6 degrees. Now we're gonna measure down our height above plate, which we decided was 8. We'll pull off of that 90 degrees. This is gonna create our bird's mouth cut. This is essentially where our beam is gonna be. This right here is the outside of our beam. We're not gonna be able to hit that because our piece is shorter than that. Not a problem. We're still gonna use this mark. I'm gonna burn 2 inches and I'm gonna go to 7 1/4. So essentially that's 5 1/4 off of the outside of our beam. So that was just a placeholder. Now we've got our finished cut. We'll cut this little bit off right here. That's gonna plane down with the outside of our beam. We'll cut this right here, and we still have, all we need bearing on that is at least 3 1/2 inches. We're gonna have a little bit over 4 sitting on top of that beam, and then we're gonna scab in our overhang detail, and we'll be good to go. So that's what you need to figure out for any roof rafter: your rise, your run, and that'll spit out your pitch. You need to know 2 out of the 3 to figure out the third, and get yourself a nice construction calculator app. And what's the construction calculator app you have? Construction Pro, Master Pro, whatever, I don't know. That's a good one, and yeah, it'll spit out all these numbers for you. You'll be good to go. All right, look at that. Yeah, but we got our first 3 up, middle, and 2 ends. They're all sitting beautiful. So now that we're cutting off of a template for our rafters, they'll all go in nice. Everything's running nice and parallel. Love that. Beautiful. All right. Here's the only other thing that we had to do. Here's our ridge cut. Come around here. We just have this tiny little notch right here. That's gonna be so our hanger fits in there real nice. So we don't want it like just barely on there and coming in an angle. That's hackery. We don't need that. All right, you good? You traced it? Okay. All right. Rafter time. This is gonna turn out for a really nice before and rafter shot. Watch out. There we go. Here, come with the camera. I just handed it to the new guy in the nick of time.
Hey, you want some mayonnaise on your sandwich? Nah, I'm good. Oh, you must be a mayonnaise addicted loser. John!
Yep.
Can you make them just like an 1/8 bigger?
Yep.
You wanna know how you know you have a good cut, man? I got my eve end nailed out. This is where it needs to go. Cut looks beautiful, and I'm just like about an 1/8 inch high, which is, you can just give it a little tappy. Plug it in there nice and tight. finish it off. Good cut, man.
That's what we call the happy.
Say it again.
That's what we call the happy tappy.
Some days I can't with him. It's like way short. Oh, well, never mind. So once we have our roof framed, we have to frame into another roof. So that's where a cricket is involved, or I'm just creating a valley. So what I had to do is I had to level our beam across, and then that gives us our point where our roof will finish. And then I have these lines snap, which is our framing of our top of our roof over here. So I connect those lines and it creates our new valley, and then you just frame accordingly to where this wood is set to where it's underneath of the sheathing. So that would be considered my nailer. Looks like I have 2 more rafters to put in, and then we're good to go. Cover it with plywood, let the roofers do their thing. I think we're going with like a rubber membrane roof because we have such a flat roof. And good as new.
I think this is charging, blocking. This is my favorite one to do.
Double dribble?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Isn't it like this?
Up or down, don't matter.
Double dribble. Should be a basketball ref. I think the squeaking of the shoes would kind of get on my nerves after a while.
No, it's the parents that know all the rules.
That's when I say, technical, you're out of here. Rafters are all up, time for sheathing. Let's go. All right, time to work on some protuberances here. So we have some existing penetrations coming through our existing roof. We need to extend them up through our new roof. What we had was a drain vent for a kitchen sink in here. We have a range hood, and we have another probably bathroom, maybe laundry room vent over there that needs to come through as well. So it's gonna be pretty simple. We can extend it. It's galvanized pipe. So I talked to our plumber. He said just get a Fernco and you can do galvanized to PVC. Just have it poke through the roof, and then our roofers are gonna do all the flashing, and we'll be good to go. You can see on the existing sheathing here, look at this. Look how wet that was. So that is because the boot flashing on top of this, our vent, was not flashed at all. So you can see it takes a long time for you to see it actually in your house. This is literally soaking wet. There was water getting in here for a long time. The insulation is a tiny bit wet, but it's gonna have to soak through all of this, then go into your drywall, soak through that. So by the time you actually see it inside your house, you've had a problem for a long time. Honestly, it's a good thing that we got here when we did, because it's only really a matter of time before this was really causing some serious problems. So we're gonna put this up here. Our roofer is gonna flash it and make sure that this does not happen on our roof above this. All right, so we got our roof going on today. Finished up this cricket. We've got, you know, kind of a little bit of a complicated kind of situation here. You saw them building this. We've got this valley that kind of cuts off, diverts over there. Now we've got Gasper here. Jason is on site, and we're ready to put down this roof.
We're gonna take care of it.
He's got his camera out. Check out his YouTube channel.
Gasper Roofing on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
We decided to, under Jason's recommendation, tear up all the shingles all the way up to the ridge so that everything here, this whole back area of the house, is completely new. And then when they go to get the rest of the roof replaced, if there's just a couple feet of shingles up here and there becomes a leak, it's gonna be finger pointing. The person that put it on the new roof's gonna say it was his fault. He's gonna say no, it wasn't. So this way, we have no issues whatsoever. We don't have to worry about the new roof being, you know, properly flashed or the old roof flashed underneath of the new roof. No problems whatsoever. So we're gonna put down an EPDM roof system here. So this is a flat roof system because we have such a low pitch. We're gonna see in a little bit how they get that done, but first time we've done it on our job, I'm excited to see it.
This is beautiful. Definitely not the proper way. We want to replace it and fix it properly. I'll show you a trick because if the hose drops, I won't be able to get it.
So Jason's up here just kind of evaluating the current roof and how they did it, and we got a couple things that we want to point out. We've got way too big of a ridge vent here, 2.5 inches. What's the ridge vent supposed to be? It's 1 inch?
1 to 1.5.
1 to 1.5. So you can see we got some big gaps here. It looks like it's probably even bigger in some of these areas. Crazy. And then we've got over here, it's not cut back at all. We've got like maybe a 1/4 inch gap here. So pay attention to those little details. The roof vent's not doing anything if it's like completely closed. So one thing that we're gonna do here, we do have baffles going up in these bays. So we're gonna have to have some ventilation in where the original soffit was, so that as hot air escapes out this ridge vent, when that hot air comes out, it's gonna suck new air into our intake. So we need to make sure that that's open, otherwise it's gonna what? Cause some mold, some moisture.
So the bigger enemy is the moisture. You don't want moisture, because what moisture is going to do, wood is organic, so the fibers are going to do this, and then it's going to start pushing the nail through the shingle. Then you're going to have roof leaks. That's why the rule of thumb for the proper ventilation, air comes in, air goes out. The whole purpose of that is to have 2 temperatures, not the living space temperature and the outside temperature, because the attic is building up all the heat. It will create a 3rd temperature, and when there is 2 different temperatures without insulation in between, it will start sweating, creating moisture, and you don't want moisture. Moisture leads to mold leads to allergies, and allergies leads to
Death.
Yeah, you don't want that.
We don't want that. Not at all. There you go. Heard it here first, or maybe second, but do it right. Do it tight, or don't do it tight and leave a gap for the air.
The air has to flow out.
All right, we got our insulation board down on the roof over the ply. And Jason, why don't you tell us about this a little bit? What do we got here? We got these little scuppers, I like to call them. Is that what you call them in the biz?
No, it's called insulation plates, 3-inch, and then we use, let me get one of the screws. We use a heavy thread, you can see it there. It's called number 14 screw to hold the insulation down.
¿Dónde está la plata? ¿Dónde está la platas? ¿Platas?
Chapas.
Chapas. Plata o promo?
Plata your lead.
Yep.
So to install this, okay.
I know that from Narcos.
I see. You see the difference on the plates? As you can tell, this one have like a little bar plate, little spikes, and what it does, it will hold the roll and prevent it from moving around. Also, they're thicker. Like I can't bend this one I could, not even. But this ones are heavier duty. They're heavy duty because they got to hold the roll down, and it's just another step that we make sure so we don't have problems down the road.
There you have it. And this actually is not a hat, but we call it a witch's hat. This is gonna be our pipe flashing, correct?
Yes.
So,
Especially made for the system, and you see the steps down later when we install it. There's certain steps that have to go in before we install this. We don't want no problems.
no problems, no worries, just good times, baby. What?
cold.
It's cold. But I'll tell you what, this roof is hot. Whoa, nice job. Nice job.
You're welcome.
Woo! So now we've got the EPDM roof over our entire new low pitch section, and then into our existing ridges on both sides. We've got all new shingles, new ridge cap, ridge vent. What do you call it? Ridge vent, ridge cap?
Ridge vent and ridge cap.
Ridge vent and ridge cap. It looks freaking awesome. We're not gonna have any issues here, right?
Never.
Never. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So now we
That's
gotta
pretty much it, right?
Yeah, we gotta come back once you guys finish with the fascia.
Yep.
Good batch and done. But you're watertight.
Love it.
Locked in
Love
for
it.
justice.
Locked in for justice. So check this out right here. We've got the EPDM overhanging our fascia here. That's gonna go down. We're gonna do our fascia on top of that, and then our drip edge goes on top of our fascia board, and then it's gonna go on with some seam tape. Is that right?
Same right here.
Yep.
So it's 6" we prime and then we put that and we roll it down, and that's what is gonna make that watertight around the edges and on the bottom.
Beautiful. And worst case scenario, that doesn't stay watertight, say 10 years down the road, we've still got that EPDM bladder overhanging, double covered. We're good to go. So love that.
Looks good.
That's it, right?
That's it. We're done.
All right.
Go home.
We're even putting the lights back up. Look at that. Professionals here. All right, we got our roof all finished up. So hopefully you learned a couple things when you're building your own project. A shed roof like this can be pretty simple. If you just follow the right steps, take your time, you'll be good to go. So make sure you hit subscribe, stay tuned, and until next time, this has been Premier Outdoor Living.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the real vlog, because now Sean is gone. He's gone for an entire week and it's just us here. And I think we're gonna get a lot done, probably more than if he were here, because I will be whipping these guys into shape, making sure they stay on task. It's just gonna be a really productive, nice, quiet, easy week, right, Ant?
We're gonna do our best. Have fun, Sean.
Right now we're just putting down these Deckorators boards as, you know, regular field boards, just as you do with deck boards. But you're gonna see all of the different ways that we use deck boards on this project, because we are going to be putting them on the kitchen, on the columns, everywhere. They're gonna be everywhere. So stay tuned to find out all of the creative ways that we use deck boards here at Premier Outdoor Living.
What's up, everybody? Tony here, and I'm gonna show you. Damn it. No,
I can just cut it.
I know. What's up, everybody? Tony here, and we're installing decking. We finally got some decking down on this project, Deckorators Costa Field Boards. We're getting ready to do this middle section under the roof. Stay tuned. So we already have these two side sections already down with our field boards. So now we're gonna work on this middle section. With that being said, when we start installing decking, we usually start at the furthest point and work our way to the house. With this section already being decked, we can't confirm that our field boards are gonna run parallel with each other. So a little tip and trick to keep you sharp as a tack, we're gonna start with this field board, and you can see I already have a line snapped. That is the same measurement off this other deck. So when we lay this deck board down, we can work in both directions, and we know our reveals are gonna line up nice and perfect. And I do the center, because if you do just like the end, like you could bring this board up, and it's getting clips on both sides. So I just do the center, so it just brings it down even. And then once I get the whole row done, I'll just go back and fill all the rest. First, we're just using plug screws. Yeah. Yeah, you just want to see the blue. Yeah! So we just got to the point where we have a majority of these deck boards screwed down. And with the Deckorators stowaway clips, they're actually not set yet. So what you have is you have a little bit of compression that still needs to be done. There is a tool out there, I don't know, I think it's orange. It costs like $150, useless. A couple scrap pieces of wood does the trick. Oh, screw. So with that being screwed down, just give some taps. It's gonna compress all those deck boards nice and tight, and you're ready to send them home. Easy. That happens. What's everybody, welcome back. We're finally on to one of our signature details, and that is the skirting on our deck walls. Skirting, deck walls, whatever you want to call it. I like to use the Deckorators deck boards just because it's a more solid material, and it also creates a very clean look. So we're using the Costa 7 1/4 boards with a 1/2 inch gap. That gives us a 7 3/4 inch rise. Follow me. And that's how it follows our stairs. So the new guy, he's installing a couple boards right now to show the detail how deck boards will run in the same line throughout the entire project, and it gives it that nice, sharp, clean look. I think that's it.
I'm supervising.
And another thing we're doing here is we usually take these all the way down to the ground, but here we're only going to do 3 rows. It's leaving us about a 24-inch space at the bottom, but you're going to have to stay tuned because we got a pretty exciting detail that we're doing that we haven't done yet, and I'm pretty stoked to check it out.
Great job, Anthony. These guys are really moving good. Now we are working on the borders of these decks. So if you come over here, you'll see we got our picture frame, our classic picture frame, which we got a lot of questions on why we don't miter both the double picture frame. And the reason for that is because when you do your miters, it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be spot on. Then if you have a double miter, these boards have such minimal expansion and contraction, but if they were to move even the slightest amount, if the double miter were not like perfectly lined up, you'd see it right away. It doesn't look good. Luckily these boards, you don't really have to worry about it, but we just like to be safe just in case. So what we do is this more like visually interesting, it kind of adds another layer. I think it's a great design feature. I love it. The double miter, it's played out. Try something new. Hey, Ant. All right, and it looks like Ant is working on this door, so let's go take a look at that. Onto this deck, there is an exterior door existing on the right side, but the family wanted one from the left side because that's where their living room, their more living area is. So what we did was we took a window out. Ant is working on that right now, as you can see. So if you stay tuned, he's gonna have some really good tips and tricks on how to change a window to a door.
This is a nightmare.
So in order to replace this window, which you can see that this is framed out for a window right now. These are the jack studs, you got your king studs, you got your header. All we had to do was move this framing over here to where we will be putting the door. So now we have jack studs, we put a king stud in there, and now we'll just move the header and be ready to go. Install the door. It's pretty easy once you know what you're doing. And I mean, I'm not doing it, so it's easy for me, but Ant knows what he's doing and it's gonna be easy for him. So hopefully this will be wrapped up. I think it's about 9 o'clock right now. This will be done by lunchtime.
So we have this door opening framed and almost ready to put the door in, but there's one critical step, probably the most important step, and that's the flashing detail. So the first piece of flashing is our deck ledger flashing. So with that installed, now we have to put a counter flashing, which is gonna go over top of the deck flashing, so water can never penetrate behind the ledger. A couple of little tips and tricks that I like to do, and I'll show you. So with this first piece, you wanna cut along the corner and bend it up. This will sit flat on your subfloor, and then this will go up your rough opening wall. Watch. Tack a nail. The second piece is just a simple L bend, and what this has a notch for your subfloor, but it'll continue down to the deck flashing and pretty much cover everything. Out. So before we install this door, we're going to put generous amounts of silicone underneath. Everybody likes to do the 3 rows on the bottom and 3 rows up, but I'll be extra generous right around this corner because I only have a tiny pinhole of a void that water can penetrate, but with the ledger flashing behind everything, we should be good as new. No water.
Got the door in, and now he's just working on final adjustments with the hardware and getting it all leveled and everything like that. So it looks awesome. I love the black. It matches the other door, but it still looks really great. So if you come over here, we got Jose working on the railings. So for this project, we went with the contemporary rail from Deckorators. It's a clean, classic look. The cable rail is a bit more modern, and this is more classic, I feel. So, you know, Sean picked this, and I think it's going in great. So up next we have the treads. We have just a couple more deck boards to get down, and then we'll probably start working on these columns. So we're chipping away at this. Things are going pretty good.
So we got the new guy here earning his stripes. He's pre-assembling our stair treads. And how we like to pre-assemble our stair treads is a pretty common detail. We use the Craig jig, some 2P10 adhesive, and some pocket hole screws. I think we got about 12 of these to build, so new guy's gonna make an imprint in this grass here, standing here, and have at it. All right. What's the trick here? What's this little game you just played with us?
You put the activator in the van.
Who did?
You did.
When?
Last week?
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said this is gonna live in the van now because it's hot in here, and it'll help.
I didn't remember that.
So I just found it, and that's a full can of it. So.
Did you take the other stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
What's this trick you just pulled?
Well, yeah, you brought the miter up. I'm like, oh shit, this is like the wrong stuff. I don't know if it'll work, but it like kind of worked. And then you walked out with that. I'm like, what is this?
Surprise!
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're working. We just finished and stop laughing. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We just wrapped up installing all of our Deckorators field boards, and now it's time for the money cut, the track, so we can install our picture frame borders. Stay tuned. So as you can see, when we run our field boards, we just butt them tight where we're gonna put our borders in. That's gonna wrap all the way around the project. But in these middle sections, we're gonna add another 3.5 kaya. So we know that double picture frame border is wrapping around all 3 decks, basically. So what I like to do before I start tracking is I want to get this number, this measurement. So we use our speed square for our gaps. Gap that board. Gap that board. Let me fix that. And then you can just measure. It's looking like I have 12 7/8 for my track cut. So I'll track the one side first, get that cut and cleaned up, and then I can measure off that cut 12 7/8 to track the other side, so these 3 boards fit in seamlessly. Right on the money. Right on the money, I like that. That's not fun. So now I just got my border tracked, that cut's finalized, and our triple border that's running in the center here to divide these 2 decks. If you remember that number, Craig, it was 12 7/8. So to make it nice and easy, you just have to measure off your cut, make your mark at 12 7/8, go down the other end, 12 7/8, snap a line, cut. Now once everything's cut, it's the moment of truth. Beautiful. Somebody hold me? Can somebody hold me? Hold my tape measure.
Oh, okay.
Well, welcome back.
Hey, thanks, man. I'm back. And it's like I never left. Except I did leave. And I got a lot done. Almost suspiciously too much. I'm kind of questioning what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Great job.
It was really, we got a lot done without you here.
Yeah.
I don't think we talked on the phone once.
No, we did.
We
Not
did?
work related.
We did.
I think maybe once.
You might have called me and I didn't answer.
Yeah, I did. Probably roaming.
Yeah, because what?
Cell
Wait,
towers.
you were an hour behind us. You're an hour.
Well,
2
I guess
hours?
it depends how you get there, by plane or car. If you're a car, about 24.
Oh.
Yeah. But
So when you called
3.
me on Tuesday, it was actually Monday where you were at.
Well, no, I took a plane, so it was only 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's good.
I never get the time zone things. I don't understand it.
I'll teach you. Anyway, man, you guys freaking knocked it out of the park. We got the new door in. Loved the flashing detail talk you did there. That was way to go. Way to go. We got some railings up here. We got freaking just so much coming down. We got a floor to walk on, to dance on, to do whatever we want. We got the kitchen coming together beautifully. Again, one of my favorite details here. We got the boards just going straight up here. Whew. That's gonna be for our green egg type of, it's a different brand. I forget what it's called, Komodo, something. That's gonna go here. We got our flat top griddle gonna go in. We got a couple doors that are gonna go in here. Oh, it's looking freaking awesome. Next up here is gonna be getting some electric up into the ceiling, into some walls, doing this bar, and then doing our ceiling. It's all gonna start coming together in the next video, so make sure you hit subscribe, stay tuned, and until next time, this has been Premier Outdoor Living. Slightly modified without me here, but they did a great job. You guys are awesome. Good job. Whipping everybody in the sheet.
You should see my back.
Oh. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the vlog. In this video, we are going to be installing our UFP Edge tongue and groove ceiling and also getting to our feature mortarless stone veneer walls with the new Premier Stone by Adorn. We got the Denali color in here. It's going up. Make sure you hit subscribe. Stay tuned.
Here, hold on real quick. We'll get more of them, but you can use a beater block. You can put this in there and then beat that in. There we go, there we go. And then make sure you're lined up with like the top, so it looks like you might have to like come out a little bit. Yeah. And it'll be like 1¼ inch bend to cover all those cut edges. So like we have the room to play where if we're sticking out this way like 1/8 of an inch, it'll pop, push the metal out. Okay. So when you get this side, like if it needs to go this way like 1/8, just nail it. All right. This piece on, like we'll have a seam right here, and we have 10 footers, and I think these are like 16. Yeah, 16 footers. So we can like, we just start like figuring stuff out. Like, all right, we want to create some seams. We're probably gonna like, we have like these seams grouping here, We have this one here that's nice, so we'll try to get a couple like in this area, then like go back to the middle and stuff like that. But when I go get the new hose, if you want to like maybe do a couple rows by yourself if you want, or like start loading the deck up with some of the material.
All right, I'll do a little bit of each.
Yeah, that's fine. Good. What's up, everybody? We're back. Hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas. We're back to work. We're going to show you what's going on. We finally passed our electrical inspection, so now we can start throwing up this UFP Edge lost trail for this ceiling detail. So what I love about UFP Edge is this is just a 1x6 tongue and groove material, so it's interlocking. You have a tongue, and then the following board will have a groove. You put them in tight, and it creates a nice shiplap nickel gap look. Another huge feature about it is it end matched, so you also have the tongue and groove on the end grain portions of the board. What that does is it allows you to install your board in the middle of two rafters. You don't have to try to split the center, because once the second board goes in, that tongue and groove will hold it in place. Another great feature about it is a little tip that you need to know. I can cut this board, so let's just say it is 66 inches. I can run down and go cut it. I can install it. And get it in place, but now I have all that waste. This was a 10-foot board. I got like a 5-foot piece of waste. Nick over there can use my cut end as a starter for the next row. Now what that allows us to do, it allows us to have minimal to zero waste on this project, because every time we cut one, we can use it as a starter on the next row, and so forth and so on. Great detail by UFP Edge, makes the job go pretty quick.
Man, this stuff looks beautiful. I really love this stuff.
What?
Heads up.
I don't get it.
Don't close your hat in on the wall.
Right.
You got it. Hope everybody had a good holiday, right?
Excuse
What?
me? You know what Bill Clinton's real name is? His real name, his birth name was William Jefferson Blythe III.
That's still Bill.
Clinton wasn't his last name?
Nope.
116, 116 and a half.
16 and a half. You got it.
You give it to me?
Nah, I gotta spin it around.
No, you don't. I can spin it. Regret this decision already.
Yeah, it's way better with 3 people. You got the lights marked out where they're going?
Yeah. Give me like there's like short ones, like I think they're 10-footers. You'll figure it out.
I'm still getting acquainted. It's early, man. I need some coffee or something.
I am the most animal-friendly person. I wouldn't kill anything. But when I saw that hawk on my duck, I was like, if I had a gun, I would shoot something. I was so angry.
When you see that happen, you said, duck!
He was
Just
already
turns
ducked.
back and goes,
He was-
I am.
It was trying
He
to
was
eat
pretty
it.
dumb.
You're not gonna
What was he trying to do? Eat it or just
cut
kill it for a game?
I didn't ask him his intentions.
He was big though?
It was a hawk, yeah. It's pretty big.
Did you go toe to toe with it? Paw the toe? Pound the toe?
Ripped it off and I Threw it over the fence.
Nuh-uh. It flew away
It flew
when you...
out. As I was running towards it.
Oh no. Sorry, everyone's distracting me with the duck and the hawks and the wind turbines and all this nonsense, you know? It's really coming together.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks. What are you up to?
Supervising.
Ceiling's done. Onto our Adornstone feature wall. Trying to do like an angelic.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah,
Is
but
that an angel singing?
yeah.
But it was just you.
It was just me. Denali. Yeehaw! I guess yeehaw?
Sure, yeah.
Sure, why not?
Hey.
We've got the dark gray color here, Denali. Mirror stone, baby. And it's gonna go up on this wall. I think we're gonna do a mantle and a couple shelves and be looking good. So,
Shelves as well?
yeah, a couple floating shelves. You know, as we do.
Okay. First things first, we always know, we put our Tyvek, then our tar paper down. Now I'm just going in and I am marking the studs just because when you screw them in, you want to make sure that one of the screws goes into a stud. And it's just easier if you just mark them out. So that's what I'm doing.
Good job. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you're so smart. We're doing a snake style. Starting this and then start with a full piece here because we had the last one was cut and work backwards this way. A little back and forth. Love a little back and forth.
I love an impromptu hammer. That was great, Sean. You're so smart.
Thanks so much. 5-in-1 tool, more like 6-in-1 because it's also a. You know what they say?
Everything has a hammer in it. So.
For the man that only has a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail.
That was just in the book we just read
Exactly,
for our
that's
podcast.
right. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Did you know we have a podcast? Internet? We do. It's called The Hardworking Happy Hour.
Check it out.
Alright, so this product is super simple to install, but the only two tips that I can think of that you might come across is the flanges. Sometimes they come and they're super easy to install, but they'll be set back a little bit. All you gotta do is kind of bend it a little bit, play with it, just so you're making sure that it's sitting nice and flat against both the stone under it and also against the wall. And then another tip, this ledge right here is where the next row is going to sit. So you wanna make sure that that is perfectly flat. You can run it, you're not gonna run into too many problems, but just to take it that extra little mile, to make sure that it's really good and flat and perfect, just take a 5-in-1 tool or something similar to this and just scrape the little boogers off. That's all you gotta do.
You know they actually call that a 15-in-1 now?
45-in-1.
It could be. I
Do
think
whatever
they're
it wants
really
to be.
taking some liberties with the 15-in-1.
What are the 15?
I'm not sure. No one knows. No one asks. They just put it on there. They don't have like a diagram of like all the things you can do
They
with
don't
it.
have to prove it?
No. Anyway.
Checks and balances. Can I have the blower? I'll blow it off before I put the next one on. Thank
What?
you. Thank you.
The interesting situation we have on this wall is the old rafters and the eave was right along the center of our wall almost. Not the center of our wall, but about 2 feet down. We have a ridge vent on top of that roof, so we need to keep that ventilation there. So what we're gonna do is install this, which is meant for a vented soffit. We're gonna install it on our wall in that location so that as hot air escapes through the ridge vent, it's gonna pull in nice cool air. So what you wanna do, a little detail, but spraying this black, it's gonna blend in. I think it's actually gonna add like kind of a nice little texture kind of detail. I think it's gonna look cool.
Do we have this piece of wood, or this needs to go?
I'm just not thrilled with the install.
How would you better way? What do you think?
I mean, it just sucks because I don't think it's like Craiging it would be ideal. But you probably see the oval, the pocket holes on the top.
We can do it from the bottom.
You can't
Do
because
a
the
little
stone's in the
dowel.
way.
Do the little dowel plug
I
thing.
don't like that.
I don't like that either. Well, yeah, it would stick out for like 2 inches with the next piece of stone.
Yeah, but I think like the Craig jig, like it's max. It's like when going to 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches.
So just be a
don't
tiny
know.
bit.
Sure.
So
They sell like the fillers.
like the pieces that you
Yeah, it's
slide
like
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then you got to sand it, stain it again.
Yeah.
Because when you do it on the top, you line your where the studs are, and you throw a 3-inch screw
Yeah.
right in.
Can we do that? I'm fine with that.
Let me see what it measures out to be. I think it's
Do you have the stain? I can at least sand it and stain it if we're not going to install it without you.
You can install it without me here.
All right, so now I'm at the point where we have to start planning for the mantle because I can't keep running the wall without thinking about how to install this mantle. So what we're gonna do is build it out of 2x material. So it's gonna be a 7-foot long mantle to accommodate a 80-inch TV, I think we decided on? 80-inch TV. So we marked out what the TV is gonna look like. We've marked out where the mantle's gonna go and kind of got a rough idea of where we thought that would, you know, work out. And it'll go from here to roughly here. And then since it's a 2x material, it's not the thickness of our stone, so we're gonna have to rip some of the stones down, but that's not a problem. So let's get into it. I'll show you what I'm gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna take this piece up to the wall so that I can mark out where all the studs are. And then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna drill out the back. We're gonna drive some lags in, chop the heads off the lags, and then slide this piece onto it. Might sound a little confusing. I'll show you what I'm gonna do in 1 second. All right, so what I'm doing, center to center, and now I'm just marking the studs so I know where to drill out my holes. Yeah, you better. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna drive these giant lags into the studs, and then once they're all in there, I'll cut the heads off. We'll drill out the board and then pump it full of glue and slide it on. And hopefully there's enough wiggle room to like make sure that everything's perfectly level. I think I've got it set up for levelness, but you know, there's just a little bit of wiggle room just in case I need it. So now I'm gonna be sanding for forever, basically.
forever. So that's gone.
Yeah, you better.
Gotta give it a little bit of love because it's really cold.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Alright, so now we're on to the point where I have to figure out the TV mount. So this is where the TV is gonna go. We're gonna put up a couple more shelves, obviously finish this wall all together because we're almost done. So make sure you hit subscribe, like it, follow us, do all the good things. And until next time, this is Premier Outdoor Living.